A very quick explanation of Meniere's disease, what it is and what it is not. First of all, there is no cure for Meniere's disease, and you rarely learn about it on television commercials or from doctors because they can't make money on it, because they can't prescribe you anything to make you well. And surgery is not the answer either. Neither is cochlear implants. This is because with Meniere's disease, the cochlear hairs, many or all or few, in addition to the auditory nerve, they're dead. They died. They're severely damaged and they cannot be fixed. You simply need a miracle. Think of a frayed wire, maybe in a sound system connected to your keyboard, and it's getting some vibrations, but it can't distinguish it. So that's what happens when you have this auditory nerve damage. The brain isn't quite sure what it's hearing. It's hearing something, but it cannot decipher what it is. So the neurons in the brain go running around like crazy, increasing the ringing in the head. In a moment, I'm going to play for you a recording of what a person is hearing with the Meniere's disease of their ear. Tonal pitches can be lost, discrimination can be lost, and people's voices can sound like robots. Sometimes you can only hear percussion sounds. The lower tones will be gone, and other tones are flat. The sounds and sensations are 24/7. In addition to that, they call it, you can feel a sensation of fullness in the ear. Oh, that sounds, fullness in the ear. What is that? I'll tell you what it is. Imagine somebody squeezing your forearm, just squeezing it, and squeezing it, and squeezing it, and they never let up, 24/7. You get that pressure like it's going to explode. You feel the pressure inside your head. Where's your inner ear? It's at the base of the brain stem. You get that pressure in the head, behind the eye, or eyes, depends on if one or both ears have Meniere's. You feel like your ear is stuffed, like someone stuffed a bunch of cotton in there. And no, it is not sensorineural hearing loss. It's Meniere's. So what's the spiritual causes of this? Deaf and dumb spirits. Yeah, we have all kinds of fancy names for hearing problems. The root of it is a spirit of deafness. A brief description of the sound waves that are transferred to each ear. It's through a series of steps that involve the outer, middle, and inner ear. Your outer ear, captures sound waves from the environment and directs them down the ear canal to the eardrum. The middle ear, that eardrum vibrates from the sound waves and sends vibrations to the 3 bones in the middle ear. The bones work together to transfer sound pressure into the inner ear. Now the inner ear, the stapes pushes against the oval window, which transmits sound waves through the cochlea, a fluid-filled structure in the inner ear, which, by the way, will burst, during Meniere's. The movement of the fluid causes the hair cells in the cochlea to bend, which triggers electrical impulses. These impulses travel to the brain through the auditory nerve, where they are interpreted as sound. Plus, these sound waves, are transmitted via your skull and upper, sinus passages and behind the nose, and transmits sound to the other ear. Each ear talks to one another through vibrations and electrical impulses. So if one ear has Meniere's, when that ear is in sound, the louder and longer the sound, it's being transmitted to the good ear and drowns out what the good ear is able to hear. And it's just big noise and it cannot be filtered out. The other thing with Meniere's disease, the ear loses its ability to increase or decrease sound waves. For example, you walk into a room and the music's really loud and people are talking and laughing, and before you know it, the ear naturally decreases the sound wave to make it more comfortable for you. On the other hand, you're walking into a room and everybody's talking too quiet and things, you can't hear it really well, and the brain automatically increases the cochlear automatically increases the sound waves so you can hear it. It's amazing. Well, this ability is lost with Meniere's disease.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Without disreputing the seriousness of a person born deaf or a person who's afflicted with deafness later on in life, or someone developing Meniere's disease, whether gradually or instantly, consider these facts. A person born deaf, totally deaf, they're not in any pain, typically, and they don't know that they're deaf. And they develop other wonderful ways to create music and talk and speak. A person who develops deafness later on in life, for various reasons, total deafness, can go through a period of depression. But most of them, again, they're not in any pain. There's not any weird noises going on. They're deaf. The ear is deaf, it's not working, and the brain will accommodate. The person with Meniere's disease could go totally deaf or lose a good percentage of their hearing and loss of discrimination, but in addition, have these weird sounds going on in their head. Either way, the person who's afflicted with Meniere's disease feels like an amputee. You can't see it, but they feel like an amputee, all of a sudden losing something that they had. You can't see it. You can't see that it's gone, like you see someone who's lost a leg or an arm or a hand. So there is a period of grief, of loss, and mourning that they go through. The constant noise in the head makes them feel trapped. They can't get out. They can't run away from it. They can't leave it. Another thing to consider that most people don't realize is that they lose their sound shadow. When the sun shines, it casts a shadow. Based on the direction of the shadow, we know the direction of the sun. When you shine a light and it causes a shadow, because you shine a light on something, you can tell the direction that the light is coming from. Well, when both ears are hearing properly, if something is sounding on the left side of you, the brain knows, because it seems louder on the left side even though the right side hears it, but the sound shadow is cast on the right side, so you know the direction of the sound's coming on the left, and vice versa. Or if the sound's behind you or in front of you. When you lose the sound shadow, you can actually just go walking in circles. You don't know where the sound's coming from. You could be upstairs in your house and downstairs your phone is ringing, but you don't know where it is. Is it upstairs? Is it in the basement? Is it in the bathroom upstairs, the bathroom downstairs? You don't know. So you go running around your house and turning your head back and forth trying to find the phone. The brain can adjust over time, but sometimes it does not. One last point and something to consider. The person with Meniere's disease oftentimes cannot tolerate their own voice. Yeah, their own speaking voice or singing voice. When the ear hears it, the brain can go absolutely wacko. It just can't tolerate it. Earplugs are not necessarily the answer, not all the time. The person cannot constantly be wearing earplugs. They're going to block airflow. In closing, the cochlear hairs do not regenerate themselves. This is why we pray for and believe for creative miracles, because Jesus died for this and suffered. By his stripes we were healed.